Jackson on the drive, kicks it out for man. Man, three-pointer, bang! Oh, what a man!
Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12, good!
Here's Michael at the foul line, a shot on Elo, good!
The Bulls win! They win it!
Now there's a steal by Bird, underneath the DJ, throwing up over Bell, ball away, yes! Yes! At the buzzer, he does it! Was there ever a doubt? A Smith screen, Posey will defend.
Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life!
It's a physical game.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another post-game live here on Dime Dropper. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper. Hit the notification bell so you know every single time I go live. And, of course, to follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Dime Dropper Pod. For tonight's game, or tonight's live, one game, of course, the Eastern Conference Finals, game number 2. What a game we had, and oh no, I feel like the Boston Celtics just threw their season away tonight with a huge loss to the Miami Heat, 111-105 at the TD Garden in Boston, and now the Celtics find themselves down 2-0 heading back to Miami for 2 games. Right now, the New York Knicks aren't feeling that bad about themselves with the way this went, splitting those first 2 games, but my goodness, obviously Boston was my pick to win the championship. And right now, it is looking bleak, to say the least. But by the way, if you are watching this video on Twitter, I am going to delete this video on the Twitter feed because I'm trying to get everybody in my YouTube, you dig? This is where I get my money. So I'm deleting the tweet. If you want to actually keep listening to this video, don't be lazy. Click the link right under the tweet that you're watching. Ready? Because I'm shutting it down. But for YouTube, you're already in the right place. You already know what it is. Let's get right to it. Okay. So the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat tonight, a couple things I talked about in the game going into the last game was that I wanted to see the Celtics stop switching Time Lord, Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, and who's the other guard I'm forgetting? Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, Pritchard didn't play. So not switch those two and the Time Lord on a Jimmy. I also wanted to see Tatum guard him more. I also wanted to see Grant Williams instead of Pritchard. The only adjustment that was made was Grant Williams in for Pritchard. Everything else was exactly the same. They still conceded the same switches. They still – what was the other thing I said? Yeah, they still conceded the same switches. And it was just the Celtics, they played – again, this is multiple years. Doesn't even matter the coach. And Joe Mazzulla, don't worry, I'm going to get into him because he did not have a great game. But at some point, you got to look at the players, right? Every single coach they've had, it's the same thing. It's a lot of ball pounding. It's a lot of just taking turns playing isolation. You honestly have to start asking the question if this 2-wing thing where your two best players are 25-plus point a game wings and that they're average to decent playmakers and passers is going to work to win a championship. With Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, it's the same thing. It's very take-turnsy. It's not very fluid. And with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, those are 2 wings as well. And you can argue best talent is scoring offensively. But LeBron and Scottie Pippen, they're both like point forward kind of guys. So it balanced out. This 2-wing thing where they both are 25-plus point a game scorers, it's really – I said it myself. I said, as of last year, I said, I think it can work, even though it feels clunky. But what they got to do is they got to execute in isolation, one-on-one. They got to make plays one-on-one. That's their style of play. They got to be smart about how they attack. They got to create good shots. Now, in this game, the Celtics, when you're in these desperation games, when you are down 1-0, having lost the first game at home, you need to come out and stomp your foot on the opponent's throat and let them know they got no chance. They got no chance. We're coming out desperate. And we've seen a couple of teams do that in the playoffs this year. For example, New York in game 2 against it was Cleveland against New York in game 2 because New York's game 2 against Miami was a close one. Celtics did it against Philadelphia in the last series. But in this one, they didn't start that sharp. They were down by as many as 8 points in the first quarter. And the only guy that seemed to get off to a good start for the Celtics was Tatum, who had 12 of the Celtics' 25 points in the first. But overall, their defense, their hustle, it was second best to Miami. And look, we know one thing about Miami. They are going to be the better coach team. They're the smarter team, and their collective basketball IQ is seeming to make a huge difference. Is looking like a huge difference, I should say, so far in this series. They play like a team. I was talking about it with All Ball and Fabian. They play like a team that has already won a championship. It's kind of amazing. The Celtics did end up leading 25-24 after one because of Jayson Tatum mainly. And by the way, Al Horford, he cannot seem to get his shot to fall, and that's really hurting the Celtics offense as well. And Jaylen Brown was not off to a great start. Now, the only adjustment that Joe Mazzulla made that I asked for was that we saw Grant Williams playing instead of Peyton Pritchard. And it really worked great in the first half. He was making threes. He was playing good defense. They had more size out there. And as I said, the Celtics didn't make any adjustments defensively really to me. They kept switching guys like the Time Lord guards on the Butler, and they were getting pretty good looks. Other guys in the Heat were getting pretty good looks. Guys like Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent were playing pretty well. Kyle Lowry finally had a game where he wasn't like lights out. He was 0 for 5 tonight, 0 points. But guys like Gabe Vincent, who didn't shoot well but made big shots, were solid. Duncan Robinson and Caleb Martin, though, those were the big two guys off the bench for Miami. Caleb Martin, it feels like this guy is just not having any bad games. Like, he's coming in, he's hustling, he's playing D's, adding athleticism, he's crashing the offensive glass, he's knocking down his open shots, he's attacking closeouts, he's attacking on the fast break. He had 3 offensive rebounds again tonight. Just amazing. And again, it just feels like Boston playing with complacency, just taking turns isoing, a lot of ball pounding, not moving the ball side to side, not making the Heat's defense guard on both sides of half court. It's slow. With Miami, they're not like a Sacramento, Denver, or Golden State kind of motion offense, but they have a lot of great off-ball actions. There's a lot of cutting. They play guys that embrace movement, and it starts with their best player, who in these last 2 seasons, I've noticed, so good off the ball. He's setting screens. He's cutting to the basket. He's posting up. Look where Jimmy Butler catches the ball a lot of the time. He's catching the ball at the elbow, on the wing, 18 feet away, inside the arc. You can't say the same about the Jays. And that's Jimmy Butler makes his life easy. Everyone's like, why does it look so easy for him? He's not the quickest. He's not the best shooter, but he gets to his spots every time. Part of it's where he catches the ball. He doesn't have the best first step. He catches the ball, quick rip through, has great footwork and great patience. The thing is, part of what makes Jimmy Butler so tough is he's so patient with his shot fakes. As a defender, you want to be disciplined and stay down. But then he still can, jump up and get a decent look elevating over the top. And that's what he's got everybody guessing right now. And I mean, and the funny part is he favors his right hand so much too. And he's still super hard to guard. But Miami did a great job closing that second quarter, and they started to go to a zone, which started fucking with the Celtics a bit, and it became foreshadowing with what would be a big problem in the game for Boston. But Jayson Tatum, Malcolm Brogdon, I thought they were doing pretty well. Other than that, though, not too much for the Celtics. Now, at halftime, they led by a score of – actually, they didn't lead. The Heat were up 54-50. So there you go. You're already down at halftime. You should be up double digits in a game 2 when you've lost the first game. And that's when I started to think to myself right around halftime, maybe Miami's better than these guys. And even after tonight, I think the Heat are going to win, but I always say there's a moment in the series where you just know a team's better. I still didn't get that moment tonight. It's usually closer to when the series ends, but the Heat damn sure feel better these first 2 games. And mainly it's the coaching, the defensive IQ. I'm sorry, not the defensive IQ, just the overall basketball IQ. They play off the pass, not off the bounce. Shout out to my man, Ricky G. He said that very articulately, even though he's not the most articulate tweeter, but he said that and it's facts. Like for example, let me give you an example of a great action they run. Bam Adebayo with the top of the key. And Bam, he was throwing some great dimes to backdoor cutters tonight. But there'll be Duncan Robinson, like he's going to come off a dribble handoff. And then, the defender's so worried about that, Robinson coming off that screen. Instead, he'll go backdoor and fake it. And Bam will throw him that bounce pass. And a couple of times, Duncan Robinson in the first half got a couple of easy baskets on those backdoor cuts. Now, in the third quarter, Jayson Tatum started getting hot, started taking matters into his own hands, working in the pick and roll. You know Miami's going to switch a lot, and it didn't matter who they put on him. He was hitting that tween, behind the back, sidestep, 3-ball splash. He looked like he was not going down without a fight. But then again, Boston still had some turnovers, and they didn't put the Heat away. That's a huge thing. We saw it last night with the Lakers. They let Denver hang around. Same thing with Boston tonight. They just let them hang around. And you cannot let Miami hang around because they've got the Terminator, or as Fabian said in a previous live, the boogeyman. You cannot fuck with Jimmy right now. It's crazy. You are not out of the woods until you go up by 20 with this guy. But Tatum, he was trying to do his part. Now, Jimmy was still able to get to the rim a little bit. Caleb Martin was still good. They were still knocking down some open shots, but the Celtics overall won the third quarter 33-21. So to outscore the Heat by 12, their defense stepped up and they went into the fourth up by 8. But 8 points still seemed a little bit too close for comfort if you're Boston. And I was saying going into the fourth quarter, the Miami Heat are doing exactly what they need to do, and that's stick around. When you're the road team in a game 2 and you've already won the first home game, obviously the pressure's on the home team. So all you want to do at the very least, if you can't win the game, is make life tough, make the opposing team sweat. And that's exactly what they were doing. And they were within striking distance. Now, I need to check this because it felt like Jayson Tatum in a must-win game sat on the bench for too long. So let me take a look at this right now with the box score. So Jayson Tatum missed a 3 at the end of the third at the buzzer. They were up by 8 going into the fourth, 83-75. Now, Jaylen Brown came in for Marcus Smart to begin the fourth quarter. I believe Jaylen Brown played the entire fourth quarter. But Jayson Tatum, let's see where he went out of the game. So the Celtics went up by 10, 89-79 with, actually 89-77 with 10:35 to go in the game. So in that zone, you start to see the Heat go back to that 2-3 zone. Finally, unlike in the last game, the Celtics were putting a guy in the middle of the floor at the foul line. And the Time Lord was that guy on a couple of occasions. Al Horford, I'm dumbfounded with the fact that this is a guy who was hitting mid-ranges and 18-footers in Atlanta for many, many years before the three-point line was, just spammed like fucking crazy. Al Horford, he wasn't even looking at the mid-range when he caught the ball at that high post. Time Lord, he's not a shooter at all, but he was going into Bam Adebayo's chest and even had an and one, had a floater. But again, when you're not taking that mid-range shot in the high post when it's there, and shout out to Rockstar Mel, he said it in one of the chats I was in that no one's looking at the mid-range. Dudes are going right into the chest of the big man in the zone. It's basically like you're playing one-on-one with them, with a rim protector. And Bam Adebayo is as good as it gets in terms of defending in today's game. But Jayson Tatum, let's see where he came out of the game. I still don't see it. So Al Horford came in for the Time Lord with the Celtics up by 6, 93-87 with 7:41 left. Wait, I'm missing the Jayson Tatum substitution right now. Forgive me, guys. What the fuck? Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to have to pause the recording. Jesus, man. What's going on? Are my eyes playing tricks on me right now? Are my eyes fucking playing tricks on me? Let's see. Jayson Tatum oh, there we go. All right, cool. All right, I got it. Jayson Tatum came out at the 8:47 mark of the fourth quarter. Derek White came in for him. And the Celtics were up by 7, 91-84. By the time Jayson Tatum came back in the game at the 6:22 mark, so he basically only sat out 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes. Damn, it was still a 7-point game, so it wasn't even that stretch that was bad. So honestly, I was gonna go at Missoula for that, but okay, it wasn't even that bad of a stretch. They were still up by 7 points, and then everything changed when Grant Williams made a 3. 96-87 to put the Celtics up 9. But then he made a grave mistake, a mistake that could put the Celtics out of their misery. And that was that he poked the bear. He poked the grizzly bear, Jimmy G. Buckets. The G stands for gets, as the great Stacey King used to say, what the Chicago Bulls color commentary. Immediately when that happened, He said, all right, Grant Williams talking shit. Took him right inside, 2 feet in the paint, pump fake, got a body contact on the second. He pump faked, went up on the second shot, or on this, went up the second time, got hit on the arm and won. Got right in his face. You got, for someone like me, uber competitive, it's gotten into my fair share of scuffles on a basketball court, believe it or not. I love that shit, man. Bring back rivalries. And shout out to the refs tonight. Zach Zarba and whoever else was officiating. No technical. Let men be fucking men. Stop this pussy shit. For real, stop this pussy shit, man. This is competitive sports. Basketball is a competitive game. We need to stop this, this participation trophy. Everybody kiss each other after the game. Let's take a picture with each other's jerseys and share it on Instagram for everybody to see. That's a soccer thing after huge games and tournaments. That's not just an everyday occurrence that all of a sudden these guys are doing. Give me a fucking break. Oh, I just got my ass kicked, but let's go, hang out together after. I'm just kidding. That part, people have done that in the past. But I don't like it when it translates to on the court. Obviously I get it. The culture is different. Everybody comes out in AAU and knows each other and all this, and social media, advertisements, the Nike camps, all of that shit. It gets these players to know each other even before they in the league. But that being said, come on, man, as officials and as a league, we have to let players dislike each other. It's great. And Jimmy Butler, you remember with TJ Warren, it seems like he's old school. I've been saying his game is old school. He doesn't shoot threes. Let's see how many fucking threes he shot tonight and made for all you 3-point lovers. 0 for 1. But you need to be a 3-point shooter to be a dominant wing in the game today. Suck my dick, dude. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You don't see what's in front of your fucking eyes. You don't understand that people don't need to be glued to the 3-point line. That's what you guys don't get. You guys think someone needs to be glued to the 3 ball. Why don't you catch the ball inside the 3 ball and then play from inside the arc like everybody else? Give me a break. Give me a break, man. Y'all, you got to stop with that. I've seen Kawhi Leonard dog teams with just mid-range. Dog. Nobody's preventing you from catching the ball out there. Now, off the ball, that's a little bit of a different question. I think if you're a wing or a guard, you need to be able to shoot a catch and shoot 3 in any era that you play in. I mean, you got to. But you can still spot up 18 feet away, or as Jimmy, he sometimes spots up in that dunker. But anyway, let's talk about the fourth quarter, right? That zone they went into that zone the entire fourth. Duncan Robinson made a couple of big shots coming off screens. And granted, when Duncan's on the court, you need to be communicating. There was one time where Grant Williams and Jaylen Brown had a miscommunication, and I think it was Caleb Martin. He got a wide open backdoor layup. And it's just those kind of miscommunications that you cannot have in these kind of stages in a must-win game. When Mazzulla talked after the game about discipline, that's discipline. That's not the coach's fault that you're not talking through screens and you don't know what you're doing. It's not his fault. But so listen to this. This is where I blame Mazzulla, though. And honestly, it's on the players, too, though. I'm tired of just the excuses for coaches. Yeah, it looks bad because he's coaching against Spo. That's why it really looks bad. But here's my issue, right? I'm a youth sports coach, right? Tomorrow, my rec team is going to play against zone. My 11 and 12-year-olds are going to play against a zone. My big that I have in the middle of the zone in the high post, he can actually shoot a mid-range. Do you know why I put him there in the high post and like a guy that can shoot the mid-range? To keep the defense honest. If you just sit there in the paint, because remember, in college rules and FIBA, you have no defensive 3-second violation. In the NBA, you have to, you 1 foot in, you put your 1 foot out, you can't play a real zone, but they scream it all about, all that bullshit. But you know what? You put 1 foot in and 1 foot out, so it's not even like a legit camp out in the paint shit. But here's the thing. Bam Adebayo can sit there because none of these guys want to look at the rim in the mid-range. They're giving it. They want to just charge into the defense and go into the chest. Nah, if I'm the coach, here's what I do. Jaylen Brown, you're playing like shit. Get your ass at the foul line because when you get the ball, they have to respect you, and then you can swing and kick. But instead, they were trying to do like high screen and roll with Time Lord setting the screen, and then Jayson Tatum was trying to weave his way through the defenders or around the defenders. It wasn't easy. But Stan Van Gundy, I want to make a comment about Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy, no wonder his offense was so fucking clunky in New Orleans because all he does is talk about pick and roll, pick and roll. That's all he talks about. He doesn't seem to like movement. No wonder his ass is out of a job. See, the Warriors fans that wanted Steph Curry pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll over and over again, they found out why Steve Kerr doesn't do that. You saw how it wore on Curry's legs. He didn't have a good series in the end. The Warriors had nothing. He was too gassed, and they were putting him in the action defensively with LeBron. So when you have movement with talent, will always beat ISO with talent. Always. The ball moves faster in the air than on the ground. Move the ball, kids. Make the extra pass. I preach this all the time. Teams with ball movement will always fucking smoke talented teams that are stagnant. A la 2014 Heat against San Antonio, getting their asses wiped off the floor. And same with Golden State at times, even though Kevin Durant was a trump card, so like we can disregard that. But they had no chance playing LeBron, Kyrie, take turns and pick and roll ball against them. No chance. But anyway, let's talk about this zone. So as I said, I would put Jaylen Brown in that high post so that you have enough shooters. You had Brogdon out there in white, and that's another problem, that Jimmy can just still pick and choose who he wants on the switch and get them, and he gets to his right. No double team. After all the things he's done, and they didn't even have a good three-point shooting night tonight. Kevin Love was 0 for 3, and he didn't take any threes, which is very rare. Gabe Vincent, 1 for 4 from 3. Max Strus and Duncan Robinson and Caleb Martin actually shot well from 3. They had 8 out of the 9 threes. The only other 3 was made by Gabe Vincent. And I think that was in the first half. Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, and Caleb Martin all hit their threes. But you got to make someone else beat you. And the funny part is Jimmy wasn't even shooting that well. But in the fourth quarter, when Grant poked the bear, he went at him like 3 times in a row. And I don't know about in a row, but he went at him at least 3 times in that fourth quarter, going to his right and scored. And the one thing about Grant is he's a good defender and he's strong, but laterally he's still getting the corner turned on him. So when Jimmy's getting the ball turned in the corner, yes, Grant is staying strong and getting back into the picture where he's getting him to stop his dribble. But by the time Jimmy's stopping his dribble, he's already in the middle of the paint or at the elbow. And that shot he hit to give the Heat the 102-100 lead in the corner was so big time. And mind you, this is when the Celtics were up 9 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. Now, the high pick and roll in the zone was working okay, but overall, I'm still a bigger proponent of move the ball in the zone. Get somebody in the high post that can be relied on to hit the mid-range and make reads and have the spread floor, one guy in the dunker. That's what I would have. And then the Time Lord as a vertical threat. Like, you see, I shouldn't be able to say this. I shouldn't have to say it like I'm a kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm a youth sports coach. I think the highest level I could coach is like middle school or AAU. Come on, man. A professional coach can't lack that much common sense. But, hey, it is what it is. Late turnovers and missing threes. Marcus Smart, man, he had a great look at a 3 late in the game, and then the ball slipped out of his hands. You did not get enough from Smart in this game, and he's actually, he was fantastic in Game 6. He was good in Game 7, and I even thought let me check his game log real quick. I thought he was not even that bad in Game 1 either. Yeah, he was good. He had 13 and 11. That was his great playmaking game in the first half where he was getting all those assists. But this game, he just didn't do enough. But Jaylen Brown, I mean, he was awful. And Jayson Tatum, I can't give him a pass. Combined, they were 1 for 8 in the fourth. The Jays have to close. They're not being clutch at all right now. And that's costing them. Jimmy Butler, best player in the series, and they have the best coach in the series. Supporting cast, I think it kind of broke even in this game. But Jaylen Brown's been outplayed by Bam Adebayo in 2 games so far, and Jayson Tatum's been outplayed by Jimmy Butler in 2 games so far. That's the difference, honestly. If you really want to come down to it, the dudes have been better and the coaching has been better. But at the end, a big play. My man, Pat Riley, it's very fitting that it's his team. And it's funny because they lost their playing game against Atlanta because of this. No rebounds, no rings. That rebound that Al Horford conceded to Bam Adebayo at the end was big. It looked like a little bit of a swim, football kind of push move, but no call. And Al wasn't even complaining that much. You got to get physical. You got to box out. You got to put a real body on someone. Just having an arm on them, arm's length apart, is not enough. Get your ass down, get your butt into them, and box the fuck out. These little things make a difference. And Charles Barkley, I think, said, I don't know if it was Barkley or someone else, but the Heat got to all the loose balls. They showed all the toughness. They showed that it felt like they were the ones that were down 1-0. The Celtics need to be ashamed of themselves. And again, I do have to put it on the coaching a little bit. This team is not being maximized. That same physicality and grit they had last year with Udoka is gone. They have the same talent. If anything, they have more talent. Derek White's been better. I think Tatum's been a little bit better. Malcolm Brogdon's a great player. Jaylen Brown is all NBA this year. But they lack that grit and toughness. They lack it. They're getting out-toughed, outworked. And I don't know if that's because of Udoka or I think it is. I really do think it is. Mazzulla is clearly an offense-first mind. His favorite words are offensive intentionality. Fuck your offensive intentionality. Where's your grit, brother? You email Udoka, he seemed like not a yes man. I'm not saying Mazzulla is a yes man, but it doesn't seem like he has the command. Udoka, he was sitting on the Spurs bench for a minute. This dude guarded Kobe. Yeah, he got torched at times, but he guarded Kobe. He has a defense-first lens. And right now, this Celtics team, they don't look like their attention to detail on the defensive end is anywhere near last year. Anywhere near it. Last year, we were talking about, man, look how good this Celtics defense is. This is all-time defense. They're so physical. None of that this year. None of it. They look like a team of talent. That's what they look like. A team of talent that's not very organized. On both ends of the floor, they just don't look sharp. They don't look like they can win a championship schematically right now on either end. And 0-2, I mean, that's what you get. And by the way, last play, I mean, Tatum making 3 free throws, it kept him in the game. But what a shot by Gabe Vincent. I mean, the guy was, 1 for 7 before that, and he hit a step-back mid-range contested shot over Tatum, and he created separation, believe me. But what a shot for Gabe Vincent. And the Celtics lose it. I mean, effort, execution, the stars, no matter coaching, no matter what angle you want to put, you want to go to, the Celtics weren't good enough and it's not acceptable. And it probably cost them their season tonight. These 2 games cost them their season. And they have nobody to blame. There's going to be a firing. If the Celtics lose this series in this fashion, which they will, it seems like right now, Mazzulla will be gone. Tatum and Brown, though, I'm not saying you got to break them up or anything because it's really not easy to make it this far. But if you're them and this is your offense, it's take turns isoing and shit or high pick and roll, you have to create and you have to make big shots. And you have to embrace the mid-range more if you're Tatum. Let's look at the lines tonight. The Heat, this is the sad part. They didn't even shoot that well from the 3. 9 for 26, 34.6%. It's not that great. 95% from the foul line, though. 18 for 19. The only person that missed was Max Strus. So big shout out to Miami for knocking down their free throws. And then from the field, 46%, 42 for 92. They shot 13 more shots than the Boston Celtics. The Celtics shot 5 more free throws. So 13 more shots gives you a great chance to win. Let's look at the lines individual. Actually, let's look at some more team stats. Why not? Offensive rebounds, 11-6 in favor of Miami. Overall rebounds, 45-35 in favor of Miami. So there you go. Rebounding battle. How about turnovers? 15 for Boston, 20 points off of those turnovers. So against Miami, they're a team that punishes you off your mistakes. You saw that in the bubble 3 years ago. 15 turnovers, a little too much. The one area you know Boston's going to win, 15-4 in fast break points. And again, it felt like Miami was controlling pace. Besides that stretch of the third quarter and the early second quarter, controlling pace is going to be huge in both series. Denver and Boston, they want to play fast. Miami, they want to be a little bit more methodical. Same with the Lakers. So let's look at the lines for the Heat, who played a 9-man rotation. Cody Zeller just out there offering spot minutes for Bam when he's not in at the 5, and he wasn't great. I mean, he's going to get attacked and pick and roll every time. There was a stretch, though, in the second half where he held his own on 2 last possessions before he came out, helped create turnovers, so that wasn't bad. He was hedging and recovering on all the screens. 2 points and 6 boards for Zeller, 1 for 3 from the field in just 10 minutes of play. Kevin Love, 15 minutes, quiet game for him. A donut, 0 for 3 from the field, 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Kyle Lowry, not his best game, but you know what? He picks games that are less meaningful to play badly, it seems, in these playoffs so far. So expect Lowry to have some big games in Miami. He also had a donut, 17 minutes, 0 for 5 and 0 for 3 from 3. And then Duncan Robinson, 21 minutes. What a game for him. 15 points on 66% shooting and 50 from 3. 6 of 9 from the field, 3 for 6 from deep. These actions with Robinson as the screener are very hard to guard. So Duncan Robinson, big time performance for his Heat tonight. How about Max Strus? 27 minutes. It wasn't an in-your-face game, but both games in Boston, he's been fantastic. 11 points, 3 for 6 from the field, and 40% from 3, 2 for 5. Huge, huge shots from Max Strus. Double figures yet again. How about Caleb Martin? 25 points. Holy shit. He's active on the glass. 3 offensive rebounds, as I said earlier. Plays defense, gets out and runs, takes advantage of your mistakes, knocks down open shots, moves without the ball. I mean, does everything you want. He's having a spectacular playoff run in which it feels like he doesn't play badly at all in any game. 25 points, 4 boards, for the man out of the University of Nevada, Reno. 1 steal and 1 block. 11 for 16 from the field and 3 for 7 from deep. That is ridiculous for him. How about Gabe Vincent? 40 minutes. As I said, not the best night, but his plus minus was the highest of any Heat player. He's really held his own on defense. And it goes to ask the question, do they play better without Hero? It seems like the answer is yes. Their defense is better. The ball goes to Jimmy more, and no one gets attacked defensively like that. 9 points for Vincent on 2 for 8 shooting and 1 for 4 from 3. So he shot 25% from both the field and the 3, but he did make 4 out of 4 free throws, and he hit such a big shot to seal the deal. And then how about the stars? Bam Adebayo. He missed a couple of chippies, but I liked how aggressive he was. Quick rip-throughs, trying to take the mid-range. He has that shot where he rips through going to his left and shoots that jumper falling away to his left from the middle of the key. A couple of easy misses for Bam. But he was making some of the mid-ranges. At least he was shooting it with confidence, which I like. 22 points, 17 rebounds. Holy shit. And 9 assists and 1 turnover. So that's an amazing game for Bam. Definitely outplayed Jaylen Brown. The only thing was his efficiency wasn't great. 7 for 17. But 8 for 8 from the line from your center. And that's to go along with a 1 assist away from a triple-double? Shit. What a game for Bam. And then to me, the player of the game, the man himself. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. His defense is also so good. And then he had a charge late that he took on Tatum. I mean, this guy, it's like everything he touches on both ends just turns to gold for Miami. It's insane. He shot 44% from the field, 12 for 25. I'm sorry, 48% from the field, 12 for 25. Only 1 3-point attempt, and only got to the line 3 times and made all 3. So shout out to him. Let's look at the Celtics, who shot 47% from the field, just 28.6% from 3. They got more 3-pointers up there, 10 for 35. They didn't really go in. Expect them to have at least one game in Miami where they go nuclear. They're not going to get swept. They're going to get one of these games, I think, but they're probably getting ousted in 6 or 5. They could get swept, though. You never know if they fuck around. 28.6% from 3, 87.5% from the line. They played an 8-man rotation. Let's start with Derek White. Played 23 minutes. I thought he was good. 11 points, 4 for 6 from the field, and 3 for 5 from 3. So 66% from the field, 60 from deep. Again, he was a +8, but I don't think he should be guarding Jimmy at all. It feels too easy for Jimmy. The Celtics need to throw some doubles at Jimmy, too. By the way, one of my adjustments, the one I forgot at the top of the show, was I said that if they want to prevent Jimmy from scoring, double his ass. They didn't do anything. They just let him kind of keep going one-on-one. How about Malcolm Brogdon? 26 minutes played. I thought he was good as well. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. He was a +10, 4 for 9 from the field. He wasn't hitting his 3-ball, though. 1 for 5 from deep. I love what Brogdon brings to the table, but again, same with Derek White. They should not let him guard Butler. How about Robert Williams? He was better. 13 points, but only 3 rebounds is just not enough. 1 steal, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers, 5 for 5 from the field. I would rather put the Time Lord in the dunker spot if they go zone and not in the high post, even though he was making some nice shots out of it. But just 23 minutes of play for the Time Lord. And they started the Time Lord and Al Horford again. So I said they should go more 1 big than with 2 bigs. And their offense doesn't look nearly as good right now. It feels easier to defend, especially when Horford can't make shots. That brings us to Grant Williams, who, man, he was having a good game until he poked that bear. 9 points on 4 of 6 shooting and 1 for 2 from 3. So super efficient. 66% from the field, 50 from 3. Really solid. I mean, all the 3 bench players for Boston made an impact. 33 points between the 3 of them. So you get 11 points each average out of your bench players. That's really good. Al Horford, though, they need much better. 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting and 0 for 3 from deep. He was a -15, which was tied for it wasn't the worst, actually, but he wasn't good. He needs to make shots. And defensively, I didn't notice much from him either, and he's been great defensively in these playoffs. How about Marcus Smart? 33 minutes played and not much from him. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, no steals and no blocks for Smart. 3 turnovers. One was crucial where he lost the ball at the end. He was a -15 as well. 2 for 5 from the field and 1 for 3 from deep. So not the best game for Smat. And then the Jays, starting with Brown. Pathetic performance. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. 7 for 23 from the field. 1 for 7 from deep. Again, they should put him in that high post. Only 2 free throw attempts. Just not good enough in any way, shape, or form from Jaylen Brown. I'm going to take a look at his shot chart right now. So I want to see if I notice anything. Pretty diverse. Not that many mid-ranges, though, but pretty diverse. Again, from the 3 ball, though. Pathetic. Let me see it. He was, 0 for 6 from 3 in the first game? 1 for 7 tonight. My goodness. So far in the series, Jaylen Brown is shooting 2 for 13 from 3. 2 for 13 from 3. This is a guy who in the regular season shot 33.5%. It's not that great, actually. So he needs to stop shooting so many threes then, I guess. Jesus. At least maybe not the contested ones, but he still makes big ones. That's the thing. Just didn't play well, though, point blank. How about Jayson Tatum, who I actually thought played well, but he didn't close. Doesn't matter how well you play if you don't close. 34 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. So, again, really good all-around stat line, but 5 turnovers. That's a third of your team's turnovers, bro. 10 for 20 from the field. Love that. 3 for 10 from deep. That's too many threes. 11 for 12 on the foul line, but still not good enough in 42 minutes of play. He was outplayed by Jimmy because Jimmy closed and he did it. The Celtics are in trouble. I think their season's over, basically, but they got a couple of games to right the ship. Game 3 is a must-win for the Celtics, but if the Heat want to finish this, get Game 3, it's curtains. They're going to be defeated, but I don't know if I expect Missoula to make any adjustments. I still don't think they should switch those guys onto Butler. I honestly think at this point, just hard double team him. Make anyone else beat you. And if they beat you, fine. You got to live with it. And if they go zone, you need a guy that can shoot the mid-range in the high post. That's it for me tonight, guys, though. Now to the live subscribers waiting patiently in the chat. Super chats are turned on. If you want to jump $1 a dime. Peace. Have a great weekend. We'll be live. Probably, honestly, it's Saturday night tomorrow, so probably not after the Laker game. On Sunday, I'll probably have a live talking about both games. We'll see if I can go live tomorrow. I don't know, though. It's doubtful. And I think the Lakers are going to win, so it's a big opportunity to go live. Fuck. But anyway, peace. Have a great night. Damn. Let's see. JB Frauding says Big Boss 5150. Beloved says yo. What's up, KB Magic? Says salute. Fabian says yo. Tavencio says it's looking like Nuggets Heat's finals. So odd. I would love that. I didn't mention that. Fuck. Well, it's not. We're not at the finals yet, so it is what it is. But I was gonna say that's Adam Silver's nightmare, and I want it so bad. Both teams are 2-0 right now. Gotta love it. Let's see. Rockstar Mel says, change your background. Nah, man, this game happened in Boston. So that's my background. Your fave 5-head says the network's really going to get a Denver-Miami finals. You got to love it. Nick Pillow says, I really don't know how they lost that. Like, what the fuck? Haven't left my couch since the game ended, just sitting here thinking. Well, thanks for tuning into the live. Your fave 5-head said, Celtics have one title since the 80s. Yeah, you're right. Big Boss says, JB and Smart to blame. Just them? Rockstar Mel says, Brown and Tatum into ghost fourth quarter, Nick Pillow. Facts. Big Boss 150 says, honestly, if the Celtics would be way better if they let JB be primary scorer and Tatum be second option. No, they wouldn't. What are you talking about? Nick Pillow says, Grant Williams literally scored more than them in the fourth. I'm lost, Mel. He's saying that they turn into ghosts. Phoenix Plays, he says, you people thought I was crazy for picking Miami in 6. I didn't think you were crazy for that. And you might be right. That pick is probably cooked. This series is over in 5. Man. Yeah, thank you. Are you blind? Jaylen handling balls what cost them the game. Well, it's not only what cost them the game. I was right for saying Bam is greater than fraud. Okay, I don't use that kind of terminology. Tatum, primary ball handler. Besides this game, JB always shoots efficiently. That's the only thing he does, shoots efficiently, but he doesn't in the end of the game. Where is that? Mr. Efficient. You all love efficiency. I like guys that win the game. Like Jayson Tatum in game 6 last series. Inefficient, closed. 7 in a game, like take more shots. That's his fault, Big Boss. That's his fault. Phoenix says, JB has been horrible the past 3 games. He should never be handling the ball. If anything, you can't even blame Tatum for the ending of this game. It was Grant and Brown. Past 3 games? He was bad in game 7? I don't remember him being that bad in game 7. Nick Pillow says Miami could win the chip. They absolutely can. 20. Yeah, you said it. Celtics learning what the Bucks learned. That's right. Bro, he looks god-awful defensively. I don't think he looks god-awful defensively. One-on-one and point of attack, he's been amazing in these playoffs, Jaylen. He failed to add the turnovers to the box score. Yeah. Jaylen's still about to get paid. We want him in H-Town. Are you from Houston, Nick Pillow? Nick Pillow. Yeah, go watch Tatum sting it up on terrible shooting, then JB leave him become first option. All right, whatever. JB as a number one is leading you to the lottery. This is the last game you want to blame Tatum for. Go watch the NBA. I don't know if he's leading you to the lottery. Let me ask a question to the chat. Do you guys think Jaylen Brown's better than Brandon Ingram? I've had that debate with my Celtics friends for years. Your name is definitely giving Thought Slayer. What the hell does that mean? Phoenix Place is riding Jaylen Brown's meat after him being outplayed by Caleb Martin this series. Insane behavior. Go seek help. Right, says Jimmy Butler. Oh, Moises Canega. He's excited for his heat. The heat is on. The heat is on. He says Grant Williams effed around and found out. With that said, job's not finished. Splash and Skills number 37 says Battle of Banner 18 postponed. Can't believe we might actually get a Heat Nuggets finals. Go Heat, go. Damn right. If you don't love Jimmy, you don't love NBA basketball, says Supervillain 5000. You're choosing to cherry pick stats is the most disingenuous thing you can do. Guess what Brown's plus minus was tonight? Guess his turnover so far this series. Guess how trash has been on defense this series. I don't know about the trash on defense part. You're going to have to send me film of that. In soccer, football, it's war on the pitch and on the stands. Everybody cursing each other out. Yeah, it's, at least outside the U.S. Right? Says Jimmy Butler, the best shooting guard in the NBA. Yeah, I think he's playing the three with this team. Right? Says if it doesn't really matter. He's just a wing. Positions don't exist. Right? Said if Jimmy pulls this off, it's wing, big, and guard. Right? He says if Jimmy pulls this off and wins it all, he's the best shooting guard since Wade and Kobe. He's not a shooting guard, though. His entire Miami tenure has been playing the three. Splash and Skills says find the best shot available regardless where it is. Shoot it where you will score it. Fuck yeah. I don't care about regular season accolades from Harden. When the playoffs start, give me Jimmy Butler all day. Facts. That argument's dead and buried now for me. Tatum, 9 turnovers. Brown, 8 turnovers. Phoenix says they've both been horrible handling the ball this series. At least Tatum is still good. I don't disagree with this narrative. NBA scriptwriters are on strike. I disagree with this. You're going to have to send me clips because Jaylen Brown to me has been good on the point of attack. They don't go at him. All playoffs, he's been decent. He did amazing. I think you may have something personal against Jaylen, Phoenix, because did you not watch the way he defended Harden in the last series? He stood up when other people were getting cooked. I agree he sticks at initiating offense. Yeah, of course I coach, dude. Stockzinho says, what the fuck, when this started? Right? He says, I'm still used to him being listed as a shooting guard back in Chicago, but shooting guard, small forward, I don't care. Jimmy, that guy. The Lakers lose. I hope he wins it all. Facts. Don't worry, it'll be up, Stockzinho. What's up, Daniel Barry? We'll come back from start. I want to see those passionate start of the vids. You're funny. He's a wing, 200. Yeah, exactly. Just let Jimmy do what he wants. Daniel, what's up? Celtics suck. Nuggets Heat finals. Ew, that's going to be great. It's better than last year's finals. Nah, that was a good finals too. Stockton says Missoula would have been fired even if they won the finals, by the way. I don't know about that. Glenn Rivers back to Boston? Doubt it. Missoula's job might not be safe if they get swept. Brad might have to come back into coaching. Ime's better than Brad, Big Boss says, but Ime's in Houston now. Celtics with a choke factor. Jimmy Butler, Hall of Famer. I think after this year, yeah, but he's going to have more to write to the story. So, yeah. He says, yes, he is. Being able to continue my Marcus Smart slander literally just made my night, says Nick Pillow. June 28th, July says, Lakers at least going home for the next 2. That's right. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Everything's appreciated. Oh, Kyle Stakes is off day at work and finally alive. Sup, Dime? What's up? Kyle Stakes says, Celtics play your turn, my turn basketball. And it's between like 5 people. Preview for game 3. Not enough time for that. Lakers going to win. Kyle's takes, but that's the problem. So many moments where Tatum never gets touched in the fourth. So when he suddenly happens to get touched, he's out of rhythm. That is true. He did come out into the game out of rhythm a little bit. LeBron James says, I suck. Nick Bill says, nah, I said to be a Houston fan. Interesting. Cesar V413 says, Nuggets Heat finals is good for basketball. I agree. Nick Pill said, I never had a team. Kyle's takes says, I should be in the live tomorrow too with the Lakers. Off days are Saturday and Sun. LeBron stopped jacking up threes, says Splash and Skills. Nick Pill says, I want to say they're equal. Who are you talking about? Oh, Ingram and Jaylen. And Dub says, hell yeah, Brown is better than Ingram. Okay. Congrats to your cousin, too. He's a Heat fan, right? Yes, he is. Grass weak to fire. Excuse me? Oh, thanks for reminding me about this. I should have said something in the episode. Actually, I can. Also, I want to say unrelated. Real Madrid got their cheeks clapped by Man City. That was insane. I mean, I thought Man City was going to choke because they have such a tendency to choke, even in this Guardiola era in the Champions League. But Real Madrid, they got waxed. They got outplayed in every facet. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and KDB were amazing. Man City is the best team in the world. They've been the best team in the world for a couple of years. They have to do this. It's just like Denver, but even more, even bigger than Denver Nuggets. They have to win the Champions League this year. They have to. Inter is not better than them, but in a one-off game, you just never know. They killed them, though. And I want to give a shout-out to İlkay Gundogan, because I remember he tore his ACL in his first year with Man City. And in these last 3 or 4 years, or I want to even say 5 years since the 18-19 title, he's been so massive for Pep. He's been a trusted soldier in that midfield. I wish Chelsea had someone like that. He's just been awesome. But what a win for Man City. Absolutely deserving. They have to win. But anyway, Big Boss 50 says, haha. So Man City being Real in NBA terms, I don't know if there's such a comparison. Maybe Denver beating the Lakers? Nah, the Lakers can't be Real because Real just won. I don't know. Jaylen Brown has the easiest job a secondary star has had since Clay in his prime. Why? I don't know about that. What if Boston kept Utah's head coach? Oh, it would have been interesting. Steven Torres says the Celtics coach is done. Depending on how the Celtics lose, you keep them together. I probably would, yeah. Do you think Boston players miss Ime? Maybe. They could. Speaking of script writers, there's an actual writer's script for right now people that work on movies. 4-0 City. Man City times Inter is going to be a great final. Yeah. Oh, man. I forgot I'm still on the live or on the recording. Peace out, y'all. Have a great night. Jeez, that was bad. Hold on. Let me see where I stopped talking about that. Absolutely deserving. They have to win. But anyway. Have a great night, guys. Peace. Sorry, that was just for the audio version. Let's see. Jeez. The Red Sox did just win, but they're still in last place. The Celtics are down 2-0. Tough times for Boston sports fans. Well, my head for the Red Sox is a lot stronger, so I'm enjoying that more. Thanks. All right, guys. I'm actually going to go, but I'm actually going to open up for a little bit another live. So if you guys want to hop in and actually jump on the screen, come on and do it. Let's go. All right, I'm going to open up another one. Don't leave. Let's see. Hold on a second. Has there ever been a season of this many good head coaches being fired? I don't know. Harden, JB, Ime link up on the way, says Big Boss. Man City's not the Clippers, bro. Man City's won titles left and right the last couple of years. What are we talking about, Stocks? Wish Ham would get fired. What? We should be telling Darvin Ham a bad coach after everything we've seen? Please. All right, guys, I'm out. But actually, I'm not out. Join the live.